So here, there was water coming into this. This is a garage wall, and there was water coming into this area through the wall. It was seeping in. So part of what we did is really bad drainage between these two houses. You can see mildew build up on the walls. See that? It was just sitting. It's not draining too well all the way through. Part of the problem is there's no gutter. While the gutter's there, there's no downspout here. So one of the things we did, put in drains here. We've got a drain underneath this garbage bag here with the soil on top of it. We put in a connection for a downspout to be installed, and then the water will push through the system. And there's another collection drain right over the corner. So we've got another collection drain right over here. So this is part of the solution to get the water out of the area. We also have another collection drain right here just to help get this water out, to collect it and move it out of the area. But part of it is to get the water, to not seep into the wall as much too. So there's two parts to the solution that we're putting together here. So here, there was a tree root right side. We've removed the roots where it was growing up against the side. Now there's some roots just right up against the wall. I'm just taking that out right now. We're gonna do some hydraulic cement right underneath. We're in a spot where there's it's a cavity in the wall about 1.5 to 2 inches deep. The rest of the wall is flat except for this one spot. So we're gonna put the hydraulic cement right in here. You can see it. The rest of this wall is smooth to this one spot. But like I said, about 1.5 to 2 inches deep of a cavity. And the wall happens to be leaking in this area, so we're gonna patch this up before we do the waterproofing. Here's another issue. Now the water is coming into the house. This is the garage. It's coming in this area here. You can see how the wall is. Now this is above grade, and there's reasons why the concrete might not be perfect like above. Sometimes it's the way it's in the form, or they didn't form it out enough when they poured the foundation. But here there's a crack in here, right? It's indented significantly right in this space. So what we're going to do is we're going to patch that wall with hydraulic cement. So we'll show you how to do that next. So that's it. Let's start. So there's an indentation in here. This just so happens to be the area where it's leaking on the other side of the wall. You can see it's flat. Most of the wall is flat the whole way down. There's some spots that are a little bit lower down there, but right here, it's indented, more than 1 inch. About maybe 1 inch, 1.5 inches, almost 2 inches from this outer spot. So just as a precaution, because there's a good chance that the crack or the flaw is right here, we're gonna use some hydraulic cement. I mean, this, pool builders, some pool builders will use this inside a pool filled with water, and it seals really quick. It's easy to use. It's like mud, like Play-Doh almost. You put it in your hand. It's good for plugging holes. We use it for waterfalls a lot of times when we're doing a ceiling. We're going through and we're checking it. Right here, you just take a little bit and you place it in the area. We're not going to fill the whole crack in here, but we're just put it in, just think about Play-Doh in your hand. It's dry. Put it in the water in your hand, and it can get hard in like 30 seconds. You're gonna lose some, but again, you just want to wipe it in there. You just want it to cover the surface area inside where the crack is, or in this spot where the indentation is. This is just an extra measure of protection. And then we're going to do the waterproofing on top of this. So again, just put it in the water. You can see it like that. It's like mud. Put it in the crack. So we've got this section that's about 1.5 you know, 2 feet. So this is where we're going to put this hydraulic cement in this spot. And then any other spot that we see that looks really bad, you know, indented or cracked on the foundation, we're going to do this. Put in the water. Water again, see it? Still dry a lot, right? We're going to come in here, get close, come on down low, and see where we're putting it. See the hand? Here it is right here. Right? Move it over here. You can see. We're just putting it all inside this area. Just putting like a layer of it on. Just like putting mud on a wall. Pretty much is what it is. Just mudding it up. This hydraulic cement helps to hold our water. You can put it in a pool. We use it for waterfalls sometimes when we're doing some sealing or doing some spot checking. Stuff works really well. This is to help people out. You know, we get a lot of calls for different things we do. Some of it is for drainage, and we can't always get to everybody that calls right away. And for the people that have water coming into their home or their building, those are the biggest priority. Sometimes we can't respond quick enough, especially during the rainy season. This is something that can be done to help the house. It's not a guarantee, but it does work. You know, a good number of times it does help people. And this is protected. All it takes is like a little hairline fracture, and water can get into a wall, a flaw in the foundation. So what we've done is we excavated, come on in closer, we've excavated here, and we've dug down the foundation, and we've gone down, you see the dirt mark here on the wall, and we've gone down about 1.5 feet almost, 16 inches below grade. So we're going to waterproof down in here. We made it wide enough so we can get our rollers in here, and then we're going to come up 1 foot above grade. So, you know, water condensation can come. Sometimes there's cracks in walls, and people will put this on the wall, all the way up a wall, wherever there's a crack. This is waterproofing. So this is something that can help out if you got flooding going on, you got water coming in your house, you're worried about every time it rains. This is something that can help out. It's not a guarantee, but it does often work. This is dry lock. It'll help to lock into the masonry cement, the wall. Put it in here. It's real thick, like you can see. There's a couple ways we can do it. One with a roller, and one we got a brush. But you just take it. And this is just to show you an example of how to apply it. You can come in closer, right? You get it on there. You put it on your wall. You want to cover it. Right? We're going to go 1 foot above. About 1 foot above. We're going below and we're going above. We're going to do at least a couple of coats, maybe 3 coats of this. And you got to wait at least 2 hours between coats. You want it on nice and thick. You don't want to see the wall or anything like that. This is waterproofing. So we're going to do it the whole length of this trench. You know, this water was coming on the inside, so this is something that we do on the outside. All right, and there's something else I'm going to show you. So we're applying it now, and you can see rolling it on. You don't want to leave any open. You want to only see the waterproofing. You don't want to see any wall, anything with the paint on it. Let's see if we're putting it in. This other spot, there was a tree planted against the wall. Somebody's asking, you think this tree caused a problem? This particular one, no. Like a ficus tree, we're in South Florida, ficus tree, oak, or any hardwood could do it, pine, palm trees, and this is a white bird. White birds don't have typically strong roots, but a ficus can go right underneath the whole house. But don't know for certain, but the sentiment is that I have, the feeling is that it was weak foundation. There's a flaw. It wasn't too well. We could see how it's indented right here, the concrete, and just pressure on the wall from the tree could have helped to move it along and form a crack. Never a good idea to plant a tree within 1 foot or 2 of the house. Never. You know, you just don't want to do that. You don't want to plant a foot. You know, this is 3 feet away. We just took out a stump that was 1 foot away. So it's probably 2 foot away when it was planted. This is a tree that can get 40 feet high. So smaller little ones are different, but trees that get large, you don't want to do it. So we're cleaning this out. And then, you know, we're going to clean this section out and put some, next we're going to put some hydraulic cement on there. Right in that spot in there. So this is the second application that's going on right now. And we've got hydraulic cement in this spot here. And the foundation on this wall, one of the problems is it's not even. You can see the depth of it, you know, it's about 16 to 18 inches in some areas. So this is the mark where the soil was. And you can see right underneath there, you know, that's about 16 inches at that spot. Now the wall, concrete gets a lot more shallow back in here. And that's dirt down there. And this spot down here, that's dirt. You see that? That's not solid concrete wall. That's the footer, that's the concrete, and that's the dirt. Now, from 16 inches on the other side, and this spot right here is the soil line. If you look at the difference right here, that's about 8 inches. 8 inches deep. So why is the foundation 16 inches in one spot in depth, below grade, and 8 inches in another? This is bad work. So we're coming in, we're doing a little bit of hydraulic cement underneath there where it's shallow, but that's the spot where it's leaking. Then we're going to let it air dry for 2 to 3 hours, and then we're going to do another application. That's about 1 can for this area. One quart of paint that we used of the ceiling, 1 gallon of waterproofing, and we're going to need another gallon to go on top of. The first application is going to use more than the second. So 2 gallons for this, and there's a small 6-foot section we're doing on the other side of the house. So after 2 to 3 hours, we're going to do a second coat, and then followed by that, either at the end of the day or tomorrow, we'll cover the soil back into the hole and fill up the trench. And this is an extra prevention that you can do to help your house or building if water is coming in and you're afraid every time it rains. And we hope some of you might find this helpful. A word on the system. 3 questions you got to answer when you're doing drainage. 1, how am I going to collect the water? 2, how am I going to move the water, and where's it going to go? So we've got collection points. There's water that sits in this area. We got collection points here. We got a collection point underneath this garbage bag that's just covered while we trench, and we have another one around the corner. This downspout, this is for a future downspout connection from the gutters. It's going to come down and connect to here. We've got a Y connection where the water is going to push in this direction for the pipe. So the water will come into the drain, into the pipe, and then from the downspout, when it rains, that gushing water that goes through the gutter is going to push this way. And it's going to push the water out towards the street. We've got another downspout collected right here for drain. And then all this water, the piping comes underground. It goes in this direction, so it's all being pushed out to the street. And this is the outflow point right by the curb, so they can get into the drain, and then it goes along with the neighborhood drainage. So that's the way to get the water from the back to there. It's got to get pushed out. Collection drains, taking the water from the gutters and pushing that through. It's all going in the same direction, and that's the one outflow point. So again, I hope some people might find this helpful. Painting department, and you're looking for weatherproofing. Roofing department's got some different types of sealant that are waterproofing. It'll help protect from that. And you can see like ponding resistant. You can see the pricing on it. We're going to get from the painting department. So for the help with stopping leaks coming into the walls, we're using dry lock. It guarantees to protect against water seepage, leaks, and dampness. This is for an exterior wall that we're looking to use it for. And it's got a 10-year warranty on it.
Basically, what you do, make sure the surface is clean. If it's got old paint that's really in bad condition, you need to remove it. If not, you can patch over. There's holes or cracks. It's suggested that you patch it in with hydraulic cement, which is really easy to use, and it forms really quickly. And then you give it a couple of hours between coats, and you should do 2 to 3 coats of this. This is, exterior waterproof to try and help to stop water leaking into the house if you got an emergency, and then long term as well. Hydraulic cement, there's a few different brands. This one happens to be Sacrete, which is pretty common. So what we're doing today, we don't need a lot of it. We're going to use a smaller container, which is about 10 pounds. What tools do you need? Some rollers, helpful. This way you can roll it in the trench. You need the handles for that, pan for the paint, and the brushes for those tough spots. So you get that with the sealant, waterproofing sealant. It's not paint. But these tools right here is enough to do the job. Besides, after you dig the trench and get it prepped